Hey guys, I hope you're doing so well. Today's video is going to be about setting and keeping consistent with routines, just like basically the description says. The title says. So I talked about this in my last video about manifesting, and I talked in that video about how I had manifested about $4,300 within 2 weeks, and with most of that being within just a few days. So I think, at least for me, when I was creating my routine, setting those intentions and keeping consistent with them every day, I was doing affirmations, I was journaling, I was meditating, I was doing those things that really helped me with my manifestations. And I was keeping consistent with them and implementing them into my day at certain points of my day. When I was really, really consistent with that, I started to see things just flow in. So having a routine can definitely help with your manifestations. Okay, he's down. He's off the bed. Okay, he's gone. So, yeah, it can really, really help with your manifestations. So, without further ado, setting a routine is really going to start at the beginning of your day. So, we're going to start at the top of our day with waking up. We're going to go to the bottom with going to sleep. So, the first thing you want to do when you wake up is try to wake up at a similar time each day. And that can change from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe on Monday you get up at 7, but Wednesday is an earlier day. It's a busier day for you, so you need to get up at 6. So day to day that can change, but try to keep that consistent from week to week. So say you wake up at 7 o'clock, and as soon as you wake up, you want to say like 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for. Like, this is just an example. I'm not saying you have to do this, but pretend this is your morning routine. You say 3 to 5 things you're grateful for as soon as you wake up, and you're just like, you're sort of in like that sleep state, but you're just like, you've gotten it in your head that that is what you do when you wake up. So what I do when I first wake up is listen to an affirmation video, or I go through affirmations on my phone, and I like to listen to it because I'm not like focused on my phone. I like to listen to the video first before I look at my phone, just so I'm not shocking, I guess, my system. I don't even know if that's like a real thing. But going on your phone first thing in the morning, I try not to do that. I try not to like focus because I do have to put on the video. So I listen to the video. It's about an 11-minute video, and it sort of goes through, well, it's sort of like manifestation affirmations. It is leading with a positive attitude. It sets the tone for the rest of my day, which I think is really, really helpful for us in the morning, because as soon as you set that intention and you know you're going to lead with a positive attitude, and you know you're going to be able to take on unexpected things that happen to you during your day, you can take on whatever. And I think it is just so key and so vital, the first things that we do in our morning. And I have noticed a difference from what I used to do, like maybe 2 months ago, when I would just like start scrolling first thing in the morning. Like that's not my energy. I'm into somebody else's energy. I'm into the internet's energy, people on the internet. And so sitting with myself, creating my intentions for the day, going through my head of things that I want to do, that's what I do for like the first hour. I also do like Pilates, I do Duolingo. So everybody's can be different, but as long as you keep it, like I said, your day to day can change, but as long as you keep it week to week, that is super important. You're consistent in some aspect. So that is really going to reprogram your mind, retrain your mind to take on this new routine. So, waking up in the morning, doing whatever it is you do. You could meditate, you could set like your goals for the day. You do your to-do list. Say you want to wake up at 6, do that for half an hour. Everybody else wakes up at 6:30, but you've had your half an hour to yourself to set your to-do list. And then it's 6:30 when everybody else is up. We're brushing teeth, we are making breakfast, whatever it is. Depends on if if you have kids, if you have dogs, if you have loved ones. So whatever it is, create your routine however you see fit, however works best for you. So again, these are just kind of guidelines, but staying consistent on what works for you, that is just key here. These are just some helpful like tidbits, little pieces that I find helpful. You could also work out in the morning. You could do like a really in-depth skincare if that's something you care about. So these are all, different options, but just make sure to repeat these each day, day to day, just to get your body accustomed to what time you're going to wake up. your mind accustomed to when you're gonna wake up. Sometimes I wake up even without my alarm. Like my body just knows that I'm gonna be up at like 7:30. So, and that is something that I've trained my mind and my body to do every single day. And yeah, like I said, setting our tone for the rest of the day in our morning, because yes, sometimes unexpected things happen and we have to learn to expect the unexpected. But setting your intention in the morning, the very first thing in the morning that day, that is going to set the tone for the rest of the day, and it's going to dictate how you react to unexpected situations. Like today, I woke up at my normal time, I did my normal things, and then I dropped my car off for a car appointment. I sat there for like maybe like half an hour, and the technician comes in and he's like, well, um, he showed me like my air filter in my car, and something was eating it. There was like a hole in it. So that was unexpected today. But I didn't really react. I was just like, oh, okay. Like just, I wasn't clearly expecting that today. Moral of the story, unexpected things happen. And we got to roll with them. So I rolled with it, and my car is still there. I'm at home making this video now. So I've had to just like adjust my day a little bit, but it is what it is. This was my goal today. The car appointment was my goal today. So as long as I'm getting these two done, everything else, we can just kind of wiggle around. But I was able to do that because I set that intention for myself today when I listened to my affirmations, I listened to my video, that I'm going to take on the day with, with a positive mindset. And to know that unexpected things are going to happen, but I can take it on no matter what. So, after we've done our morning routine, we're going to go about our day as planned, whatever we have to do, work, meetings, appointments, car appointments, kid drop-offs, classes, whatever it is. We're just going to keep going with that. And if you are someone who finds it helpful to make to-do lists, that can be something that you do the night before for your next day. That is kind of something that I do at night when I'm journaling. I sort of think ahead to the things that I want to do the next day based on what I got done that day that I'm journaling about. So we're kind of thinking ahead based on what we did that day. But that can also be something that you do, like I said, during your morning. If you take like a half an hour each morning to dictate and to write down your intentions for the day, you jot down, your to-do list. That could be something that you consistently do every single day. So it's just different for everybody. But again, this is just a helpful tip. That could be something that could be helpful just to set your intentions and to be consistent in your morning routine, because I feel like that really works wonders, and that just sets the tone for the rest of the day, basically. And then, yeah, so after we've gone through our day, we've gotten to our evening, everybody's home, we're having dinner, we're then cleaning up dinner, and then we're going through like our winding down routine. But say, like I said at the beginning, our Mondays can be different from our Wednesdays. Say our Monday, we've had dinner, we're winding down and we're journaling, it's the first day of the week, we're just kind of going slow, we're not really rushed, whatever, we just had a nice dinner together, we're just chilling out for the rest of the night. But say at 8 o'clock, we want to start getting ready for bed. So we're going to start brushing teeth. We're going to get our pajamas on. We're setting our clothes out for the next day. And then we're journaling. We're reading. We could be reading to our kids. We could be reading with them before they want to go to sleep. Obviously, whatever works for you, however your life situation is. We could be lighting a candle and meditating. So whatever it is, I hope that works for you. That's beautiful. That's amazing. But I think something that works for everybody is putting our phone on the charger 30 to 60 minutes before we go to sleep, before we close our eyes. And yeah, putting our phone on the charger 30 to 60 minutes before we want to go to bed, because, there have been studies done that our phone use before bed can really affect the quality of sleep we have, the amount of time we sleep, the amount of hours we sleep, maybe even dreams that we have. I'm sure like that could, just thinking off the top of my head, like that could be a factor too, like things that we see before we go to bed. Because I know there have been things that like I've thought about, I've seen online, and then I've dreamed about them. Because I didn't really give my head enough time to for those thoughts to get out of there. So that can also help with journaling. If you have a lot of thoughts before bed, you can journal those down. But anyway, back to the phone use. So putting our phone on the charger before we go to bed, it can really help with our sleep quality, the amount of sleep we get, how we feel in the morning. If you're feeling groggy, maybe it's because you were on your phone, a little bit too close to bedtime. And yeah, I think that's something that we can all do. So whatever else your night routine is, I really hope you can fit that in there, because I think you're really going to see, if you don't do it yet, you could definitely see an improvement in your sleep, and in your attitude the next day. I know I've seen an improvement in my attitude the next morning. Um, like I said, no matter what actions you decide to take, no matter how you want to make your night routine, keep it consistent. And in the very beginning, the first couple weeks, it could feel very foreign to you. It could feel like very forced and uncomfortable, and that's okay. But as long as it's something that you want to do, that's totally understandable. But if it's something that you don't want to do, stop doing it. If it's something out of your comfort zone, like something that just makes sense for me is doing affirmations. It makes sense for me to journal. It makes sense for me to read. Like if reading feels out of your comfort zone, um, like in a bad way, not like you're being like challenged to do it in a good way. So if it's just like completely like not your vibe, definitely you don't have to do it. So whatever works for you. But yeah, feeling uncomfortable is normal because you are setting a new routine in your mind. You're reprogramming your mind to take on this new way of life. Like I said, within like a couple weeks, that is just going to be second nature to you. So, just getting through that hump, the first little bit, is really going to, set you up for success later on. I've been doing my morning and night routines for the past month, and sometimes I vary here and there. And like I'll say in my next point, it's nice to have grace and understanding, because sometimes I don't, like I haven't done my Duolingo yet today, and that's okay. Like I know I'm still going to do it. It's about 3 o'clock. I'll probably do it after I do this. I actually had to re-record because my mic turned off. So I keep looking down to make sure this is on. So I don't want to have to do it again, but yeah, so I'll probably do my Duolingo afterwards. I wanted to do my Pilates later in the day because I want to make a certain thing with my dinner so I can have like after I work out. So again, I've shifted things, I've reworked things a little bit in my routines, and I've just learned to have understanding and compassion with myself for that. So I think that is super vital. That's just as important as having the routine and being consistent. Um, you got to have the grace and you got to have the routine. Like they both work hand in hand, and you got to have the boundaries for creating your routine. You have to have the boundaries with yourself to be disciplined and to take that seriously, and to have boundaries with other people. So like if you have, say you have a packed day, you got meetings on meetings, but then you got like a little bit of space, and say like you're working from home and your youngest needs help with something. It can be, or like, yeah, like your youngest or like a parent or whatever, they might need your help with something. Or like you get a phone call, whatever it is, like something sort of interrupting your time. Um, while you're like saying you're in the middle of a task, you could be like, okay, like let me just finish this task. I got like one more thing to do. I just got to focus on this, and then I'm all yours. So it could be something like that where you are um, firm in your boundaries. I think it might be hard to have a younger kid, and to have like a little kid. It's hard to tell them that, and for them to understand it. So I get that part. But yeah, if it's somebody like you get a phone call, or it's like a parent, be like, okay, give me 10 minutes. I'm just gonna finish this email. I'm gonna finish like writing this page, whatever it is, this paper, and then I can totally help you with whatever. So it's being firm with our boundaries. Um, and I'm just thinking about telling like a 1 year old, like, no, I need to finish this email. Like, please give me a minute. Like, that's not, don't scratch that example. But yeah, if somebody who's older and will understand um that like boundaries, that you need to finish something, who will like give you that grace and give you that like respect to finish what you're doing. So I think it starts with us having respect for ourselves. I'm sorry. That's funny. Yeah, so it starts with us having respect for ourselves and honoring our to-do list and the things that we want to get done, and then we can help everybody else. And I think I've talked about that in other videos, just like putting yourself first and whatever. um, you can't pour from an empty cup. So that also works with your routine, creating boundaries. Yeah, so I think all of that is really, really helpful. I think being consistent with your routine, no matter what it looks like. Again, it could look different from one day to the next, but being consistent and disciplined week by week, I think that's where you're really going to see probably shifts, positive shifts in your mood, in the way you react to things, in the way you talk to other people, how you communicate with other people. So it could probably also like improve your work ethic. So I would definitely say, sometimes it just takes being sick of yourself to actually like be disciplined. Because I remember in December, I was just like, what am I doing? I know like we all have the same 24 hours. I just wasn't using them wisely. So I started doing that a month ago. I was tired of my own BS. So um, maybe that's what it takes for you. Like, I really hope these tips help, but sometimes it really just does take yourself being like, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with what I've been doing. And I would hope that you're watching this video, you are in like a growth mindset and you're willing to learn, and to change maybe those habits, those unhealthy habits that you have. Because I had so many unhealthy habits, like I was saying, just like being on my phone before bed, staying up super late, getting up late, and then wondering why I didn't wake up feeling great. Like I was just my own worst enemy. I was doing that to myself. But yeah, I think since I've created routine for myself, I felt so much better. And I felt more clear minded and, more motivated and inspired. So, those are things that can help. Again, oh, I've also seen like, yeah, my manifestations come in when I was super serious and dedicated and disciplined and determined about my routine. So, yeah, I really hope that was helpful for you. That was basically all my notes. I'm just double checking here. Um, Yeah, and it could also be like one thing that you do in the morning, one thing you do at night. That is your routine. Like you do your skincare and you meditate and you do your affirmations and you say what you're grateful for while you're washing your face, and say that's your 15 minutes in the morning, and then you maybe do like a light mask, whatever it is, um, in your morning and your night. So it doesn't have to be a lot. It's just whatever works for you in your schedule. Yeah, that's it. But I hope these were helpful. I hope, it's possible to set a routine. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just however you feel and being consistent with that. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's it. So, all right. Bye for now, guys. I'll see you next time.